What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have India can become a $55 trillion economy by 2047. So within the next 25 years, India can boom to a $55 trillion economy. That is crazy. That's superpower, global superpower level, dog. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's hear what they got to say.
India to be a $55 trillion economy in 2047 when India turns 100. I'm sure many of you will find this goal audacious, but I'll hopefully in the next 10 minutes and then during questions, I can convince you that this is achievable.
Okay.
Let me start with a couple of examples.
I believe it.
Take Japan from 1970 to 1995. The Japanese economy in 1970 was $215 billion.
Mm-hmm.
By 1995, its economy had multiplied almost 25 times to $5.5 trillion, 25 times multiplication. Now, this was not a period where it was a honeymoon for the Japanese economy or the global economy. I'm sure many of us recall that the 1970s were a period of war, the Vietnam War. There was also the oil shock and the hyperinflation that happened, the Volcker phenomenon, very high double-digit interest rates in the US. All of which had an impact on global demand as well. So the Japanese economy was able to grow 25 times during this period despite the challenges that inevitably came.
That's crazy. Shout out to Japan because he's saying they grew 25 times, and it's not just like all perfect conditions for Japan economy to grow like that. But even through bad ones, Japan's economy continued to grow within 25 years to 20. It grew over 25 times, which is absolutely crazy. So if there's an example of Japan can do it, why can't India, whose economy is rising at a great level right now? Why can't they figure it out? I don't think he's lying, and I don't think he's wrong for saying this.
Secondly, if we take the Chinese economy, from 1996 to 2021, another 25-year period, the Chinese economy grew 22 times. Our economy in 2023 was about $3.3 trillion. And so I'm projecting a much lower increase in the size of the Indian economy, about 15 times to 55 trillion. But let me take you through the economics that underlies why I think this is a prediction that is indeed achievable. If you look at Japan from 1970 to 1995, that period, the Japanese yen appreciated almost 4 times, from 350 yen to the dollar in 1970 to 85 yen to the dollar. Now, I am not projecting...
So what is the yen to the dollar now? Like today? What is it? In 95, it was 85 to the dollar. What's the yen to the dollar today?
Anywhere close to an appreciation of the currency. Certainly not 4 times appreciation of the rupee. What I am estimating, and if you get a chance to take a look at the book, as is my training, I have provided data and economic logic to back every estimation that I have, whether it is the growth that can happen in real terms, whether it is the depreciation of the currency, all of that is backed with data and evidence. After all, as a researcher, I've been trained in the Sherlock Holmes philosophy to never theorize before you have the data.
I love that. So he's saying, like, I'm not just making these statements, like, without any evidence or any data to back it up. I'm not just throwing a statement out there just because Japan's economy and China's economy have done it. No, like, I'm making this statement and I have the evidence to back up my statement. I have everything to show you why India can become a $55 trillion economy by 2047. And it sounded to me like he might be underselling it. Like, he could be more than 55 trillion.
So let me explain to you the economics behind this prediction. If we can grow at in real terms at 8% from here on, and I'll spend some time explaining to you why I think that is a growth target that is ambitious, but it is achievable. If you look at the rate of inflation that has prevailed in India from 2016 onwards, and when we celebrate the centennial year, when we will write India's economic history, 2016 will be a very important year because that was the year India implemented its inflation targeting regime. Pre-2016, India's inflation was about 7.5%. Since 2016, up until March 2024 data, the average inflation has been precisely 5%. In other words, there has been a decline in inflation from 7.5% to 5%. And that is why I am going to take the estimate of inflation into the future as 5%. As you all know, the inflation targeting regime requires the central bank to target inflation at 4% plus minus 2%. In other words, in this band between 2% to 6%. So not only is 5% in the, in the higher number, it is also the case that the historical average inflation from 2016, when the inflation targeting regime was implemented, inflation has been 5%. So it's a very reasonable estimate, therefore, that the inflation going forward will be, will be 5%.
Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys believe India can become a $55 trillion economy by 2047? Of course, I didn't get to hear his entire speech. I didn't get to see like all the data and evidence he had to back it up. But I don't doubt it. I think India is an economy on the rise right now. They have great leadership right now. And so it'll be very awesome to see what India can do within the next 20 years. But I definitely think it's not wild to say that they can become a $55 trillion economy by 2047, if not more. Like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys and hear your thoughts and what you think about it. But with that being all, if you guys enjoyed, please do not forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see you guys next time.